So here's the Newsela site. It's just newsela.com, and then you sign in if your school board has a subscription, which in my experience almost every school board does. You can search for content up here, and you can also browse content. I find what they have on the main page is usually pretty good, especially under featured. It is an American news site, so it is American centered. So the only thing that was a little frustrating was that it has American news and no specifically Canadian news. But other than that, I found it very useful. So basically, you can click on any article and you'll see the article itself as well. You can change the Lexile level over here at the top. And so it's set to 680, it's the lowest for this article. I can go all the way up to 1020. And you'll see often the article is a little bit longer. It will have more advanced vocabulary words and ideas that go the longer. The higher Lexile level will have more like complex, thought-provoking ideas. But the actual main content will be the same, which allows you to discuss with your students the article, even if they're reading it at many different levels. For each of my reading groups, when I did this, in my ENG 1-2L, I basically would copy the text of the article, and then I would define vocabulary words for them, and then they would read the article together, and then they would answer some discussion questions, and we kind of discuss it as a class before they did one final response about the article. The only thing that would change really was that I would give them different vocabulary lists depending on the Lexile level, and then of course the actual text of the article. There are a lot of features on Newsela itself, which I didn't take advantage of because my students would not have been able to really engage in signing in and all of that. But there's a lot of cool features about highlighting, different activities that they will provide for many of the articles. You can also have your class like enroll and assign them certain articles at a given Lexile level. The only thing I didn't like about that was that you would assign the same Lexile level for your entire class, which is not how I was using Newsela. Another thing I like about it is that you can save articles. So I could save this one, and then if I went to your content, you'll see that these are all of my saved articles based on what I thought my students would be interested in, or I thought would relate to the lessons or units we were already doing. So that's the basics of it, and I think it can be really, really useful when differentiating for nonfiction texts. There are, again, things related to many, many different topics, and so there's news, but there's also kind of more science, social studies, if you're interested in that as well. Though again, I would say those social studies is based a little bit more in the United States, so not great for, let's say, a grade 10 Canadian history course or civics or something of that nature. But yeah, let me know if anyone has any questions. It's a really, really useful resource.